Dreamers! Today we're going to make a picture of a boat, perhaps even a pirate ship. Do you know a pirate's favorite subject? Art. That's right. Today we're going to be making a picture of a boat. And we want this picture to be very dramatic. So we're going to talk about some ways an artist can add some drama or excitement to their artwork. Let's look at an example for inspiration. This is a famous boat by J.M.W. Turner. This painting is called Dutch Boats in a Gale. A gale is another word for a big storm. When you look at this picture, what do you see happening? What makes this picture so exciting or dramatic? When I look at Dutch Boats in a Gale, I notice the boat in the foreground or closest to us first. It's tipping over. J.M.W. Turner has drawn it on an angle that's diagonal or slanting across the page. You can see how tall the waves are and they're coming up over the boat. And if you compare this boat in the foreground, the closer one to us, to the boat in the background, there's a very dramatic difference. The boat in the background seems a little calmer. The line under it is more horizontal or flat and laying down. But the boat that's closest to us is really dramatically tipping and turning. Think about what it would feel like if you were on that boat. It'd be pretty scary. You might even fall off. J.M.W. Turner's done a great job of adding excitement to this picture by using those diagonal lines. Also, notice some details on the boat. Do you notice the big sails? Can you find the flag at the top? These are details we'll want to think about as we create our own boat today. So, to make our own boat, you're going to need a piece of paper and a pencil. If you want to add color too, grab some markers and some crayons and meet me back here. Arr! To start our picture, we're going to put waves in the foreground or the front. So towards the bottom part of your picture, draw some wavy lines going all the way across. You can add any details too, like fish jumping. Think about what you want in your foreground. Draw that first. Now we're going to put our boat in, and we want it to look dramatic and have movement. So I'm making my line slanted with a curve underneath, and it stops when I get to the water. This makes it look like the boat is being tossed by the waves. Now above the boat, I'm going to put the sails, and to give them movement, I'm curving either end of them. So it's almost like a rectangle, but the sides are curved out. And I'm stacking these above each other. You can also do a triangle or a little square to make it look like flags on the very top. Once you have your sails, then you'll add your mast. That's the post that holds them up. And if you look, I'm stopping at each sail and hopping over. So the sails are overlapping the mast. Once I have that done, I'm going to add details to the flags and sails. So you can put a little symbol on there or make it into a flag. For the boat, I want it to look like it's made of wood. So I'm adding some lines for texture. I'm putting little circles on like windows or portholes. And then for the texture, I'm drawing little lines across so it looks like planks of wood have been put together to make the side of the boat. We want it to look really rough and textured. After that, I want to think about my background. What's happening behind? So I want to add some more water, but I stop at my boat and hop across for that overlapping effect. And since I have an empty spot here, I think I'll put a sun and some clouds. You think about your background. Now I'm preparing my picture to color. I'm doing that by outlining or going over all my pencil lines with a dark black marker. This makes it easier to color in because it makes a little fence around each shape. You can even color in little areas like those portholes. Just make sure that you get all your lines nice and dark. Time to add the color. As I color, I'm pressing a little bit harder where I want it to look a little darker. So on some of these brown wooden planks, I'm pressing harder to give it a darker value. Then, as I color, I'm also making sure that I take my time. I want to try and stay in the lines as best I can. And when I color, I'm keeping the crayon going the same direction. I'm lining up those strokes. When I color my water in, I'm using two different types of blue. So I have a darker blue for my background water and a lighter blue for my water in the foreground. This helps give my picture depth and make things look near and far. See how I'm lining up the strokes? Now, of course, I'm coloring a little bit faster here because I sped up the video. You take your time and do your best. And remember, if you get out of the lines, no big deal. Just keep going and stick with it. By the end, you probably won't even notice. Now, when I color my sky in, I need to go carefully around all the things that are in front. So I'm really taking my time and going slowly between those shapes. I know it looks fast here, but when I was coloring in real time, I was going slow and steady. Once you have it finished, it's going to be a beautiful picture.